There is a number in your head, the number of years you believe you threw away. You know it without counting. You do the math again at 2 in the morning when the house has gone quiet. The danger is not the number. It is what you decided the number means, that you missed your window, that your portion went to someone younger. Stay with me until the 7th sign. The 7th explains what God actually restores. And it is not the calendar you keep praying about. Hear what God said through the prophet Joel in chapter 2, verse 25. I will restore to you the years that the swarming locust has eaten. Look at where God stands when he says it, in a field already stripped bare. He does not promise to prevent the loss, only what comes after. 7 signs that show up right before God brings the harvest back. Before we begin, put your number in the comments. Someone else at Bible Refuge needs to see it and know they are not alone. Let us begin. Sign number 1. Have you noticed people you had not heard from in years are showing up again? A name you had not thought about since before everything fell apart. That is not nostalgia. That is reconnaissance. The past is being sent back, carrying something in its hands. Naomi went home empty and told the women of Bethlehem to call her Mara, because her life had turned bitter. But look at the last line. Ruth, chapter 1, verse 22. She arrived at the beginning of the barley harvest. Researchers found that people who reconnected with contacts lost years earlier got back better help than their current contacts offered. Old ground is not dead ground, so write down 3 names that have returned in the last 6 months. Not every old door is God. Some he shut on purpose. But the doors are the easy sign. The second one happens where nobody can see it. Why now? Why does your mind keep dragging you back to the year everything went wrong? This is not torture. It is inventory. He is not making you watch it again. He is asking you to hand it over. Hannah lived this. 1 Samuel chapter 1, verse 7. Year after year, the same grief met her at the door of the house of the Lord. God never scolded her for it. For 40 years, researchers have studied what happens when people write out the worst thing they ever lived through. The benefit is small. But something changes when the pain becomes a story you can actually tell. So take 15 minutes this week. Write those years out like a letter to God and finish with 1 line handing them over. Replaying them without handing them over is not prayer. And if the memories have come back, watch what happens next. God usually takes something away right after. The thing that used to take the edge off, it does not work anymore, does it? The television, the shopping, the schedule too full to think, it is not punishment. It is the anesthetic being removed before the surgery. Elijah sat under a broom tree and asked God to let him die. An angel touched him and said, "Arise and eat, for the journey is too great for you." 1 Kings chapter 19. Bread first, sleep first, then the assignment. Researchers call this a window. When the setting around a habit breaks, the habit loses its grip and change becomes possible. But it does not stay open long. So name the thing that numbs you. Give 1 hour of it each evening this week to God instead. Do not hunt for a new anesthetic. That is how people close the window God just opened. That empty hour is not empty. Something is about to move into it. Stay with me. The first 3 signs happen around you. The last 4 happen inside you. And the 7th is the one almost nobody preaches. If this is landing, subscribe to Bible Refuge before we go on. And pray with me. Lord, I am not asking for the years. I am asking for the harvest. There is something you used to love that you have not let yourself want in a very long time. And lately, it has been knocking. God took Ezekiel to a valley full of dry bones and asked one question. Son of man, can these bones live? Ezekiel chapter 37. Now notice the word God used next. He did not tell Ezekiel to fix the bones. He told him to speak to them. That is how buried things come back. Not by strength, by breath, and by a voice willing to speak to what everyone else has buried. Some of you will kill that desire a second time because hoping again feels more dangerous than staying numb. Do not. Do the smallest thing that belongs to it this week. Open the box. The next sign does not arrive as a feeling. It arrives as a knock at your door. Has someone come to you recently with a problem you have no business being an expert in, except that you lived it? That is not a coincidence. That is a commissioning. God does not throw away the map you drew in the dark. The woman at the well came for water in the heat of the day, which is what you do when you are avoiding people. After one conversation with Jesus, she left her jar and walked back into the town she had been hiding from. John chapter 4. Look at what she used, not her success, her record. Research from the recovery world found the same. People leaving treatment for drinking who turned around and helped someone else were far more likely to stay sober. So tell one part of your story to one person standing where you once fell. Shame keeps you safe and keeps them lost. When you help them, something shifts in the way you pray. That is sign number 6. Listen to how you have been praying lately. Something in the wording has changed. For years it was, give it back. Give me back what I lost. And lately, it comes out differently. Use it, Lord. Go back to Joel, chapter 2, verse 25, and notice the word God chose. He does not promise the years back, he promises what the years ate. The calendar is gone. But the peace, the family, the name, the harvest those years devoured, that is what he said he would return. Time was never the treasure, the harvest was. Job chapter 42, verse 10, the Lord restored his fortunes when he prayed for his friends. So pray this tonight, out loud. Lord, I am not asking you to give me back the years. I am asking you to bring in the harvest they ate. Then pray one sentence for whoever is tangled in those years. That is not saying it was fine. Forgiveness is not trust, and trust rebuilds slowly, if at all. Which brings us to the 7th, the final and most powerful sign, because it is the one God has been after all along. Say the years out loud in your own kitchen, and pay attention to what does not happen. For years, saying it out loud brought the shame in with it. Lately, the shame is arriving slower, a step behind. There was a man named Mephibosheth, crippled in both feet since he was 5, living in a town called Lodabar, which means a place with no pasture. When the king sent for him, he fell on his face and called himself a dead dog. 2 Samuel chapter 9. David told him, "You will eat at my table always." Now hear the last line of that chapter, because almost everyone skips it. He ate at the king's table continually, and he was still crippled in both feet. God did not erase the damage. He changed the table. He does not rewind the years. He restores the man who lost them. Researchers who study life stories found that adults who can frame their worst chapters as part of something redeemed carry more purpose and peace. It is a pattern, not a cure. But the story you tell about your years is doing something to you. So do not wait until you feel healed enough to come to the table. Mephibosheth never walked again, and he never missed a meal. Say this out loud tonight. Those years happened. They are not the last word about me. Look at the 7 again. Old doors reopening, memories that will not stay buried, comfort that stopped working, a desire breathing again, someone who needs what your worst years taught you, your prayer changing its words, shame arriving a step behind. Here is the turn. You have been praying about the calendar. God has been working on the harvest. And if you recognize none of the 7 tonight, you are not disqualified. Hannah wept year after year. Naomi came home empty before the barley started. Do not manufacture signs to feel chosen. Test them against the word and one wise believer. And maybe the weight of those years has made you feel it would be better not to be here at all. If so, please tell a real person tonight. In the United States, you can call or text 988 any hour. That is not weak faith. God fed Elijah and let him sleep before he gave him another assignment. So, do the math again tonight, then add one line at the bottom, and God is not finished. Tell me in the comments which sign you recognized. Subscribe to Bible Refuge so the next one finds you. And send this to someone who is convinced they are too late.